Plus, later on in the show, we have to discuss Disney because they really need a new princess. I don't know if you guys have been following the never-ending scandal of Rachel Zegler, their Snow White remake princess, but this young woman is clearly mentally deranged.
Candace Owens just destroyed Rachel Zegler over the woke Snow White disaster. But what did Rachel do to spark such massive backlash? And why is this controversy shaking up Hollywood? Stick around, because this story is wilder than you think.
Just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be.
Let's discuss the young actress Rachel Zegler, whom Disney selected for its new Snow White role. The part should have been straightforward to win, but it turned out otherwise. A live-action remake of this beloved animated masterpiece should have turned out well, but everything went horribly wrong. Well, everything. The casting decision about Snow White had already drawn substantial criticism because Disney deviated substantially from the traditional look and origin of the character. The public backlash towards Rachel intensified because she displayed negative feelings about playing the role. She demonstrated more interest in creating a new version of the character than honoring its original form, while she displayed disdain for the existing story, which she considered outmoded and troubling. Publicly mocking the movie, which enabled your position as an actor, results in hostile public relations.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
The role of Snow White brought Rachel more than casting opportunities because she launched a solo offensive to destroy every element of the original film. It's rare to score your ideal film role and then proceed to launch attacks against the blockbuster that launched your career. But Zegler, she's built differently. The actress verbally attacked the original prince while making fun of the romantic plot. She proclaimed her opposition to love in all its forms. That was a bold move. The outcome of her strategy remains to be observed. She extended her film criticism with additional mockery directed towards movie fans. Those who potentially would have attended the movie were the target of her offensive behavior. She rejected audience appeal through charm and respect by mocking people who loved the original. The message of watching your film becomes wholly undermined when you drive away the fans who enabled its production. Spoiler alert, not great. Candace Owens delivered a ruthless attack on Zegler for portraying the Disney princess, who remains the least popular character throughout history. The animated Snow White maintained her dignity by avoiding aggressive remarks even though she represented Disney. Oh yes, because that happened. The numbers spoke for themselves. The movie's epic failure caused Disney's accountants to need deep breaths to recover. The project received universal criticism while fans stayed away from theaters, which made it the prime example of how Hollywood fails when it focuses on messaging instead of storytelling. Audiences prefer to watch genuine movies that offer entertainment rather than films that deliver lectures disguised as entertainment.
The famous phrase, go woke, go broke. Right now, Disney, their big blockbuster movie has plummeted. Much like the Democratic approval ratings that reached, I think, an all-time low at, 27%? So, they say that numbers talk, BS walks.
While investing $200 million in a fairy tale movie, studio executives want their lead actress to be somewhat relatable rather than unrecognizable. Maybe even likable? Disney chose to implement its progressive agenda without hesitation. What could go wrong?
If you want to, or the Jasmine Crockett of Disney, I know we want to talk about her today, but if you want to look at why the Democratic Party has reached all-time lows, look no further than what Disney is doing with their woke, DEI, feminist agenda.
And what happened next? It bombed. Harder than a rock in freefall. The opening weekend performance of this Disney live-action production fell to one of the lowest totals ever recorded for the studio at less than $50 million. Such a poor performance falls beneath the earnings of a Pixar film about animated spoons during its worst weekend. And in China, less than $1 million. China said, nah, we're good. Disney faces ongoing trouble because it persistently repeats the same error with its film productions. Disney transforms well-known classics into political statements before being surprised about audience attendance failure. The absence of the burger patty makes people wonder why they should be excited about the meal. People desire nostalgic feelings and captivating stories rather than motion graphics delivering political messages. We have yet to discuss the dwarf issue. The studio made this decision back in 2023 to eliminate real little people performing as the Seven Dwarfs because Disney deemed it offensive. Peter Dinklage is the sole Hollywood little person with speaking authority, so Disney replaced dwarfs with CGI blobs that resembled rejected Smurfs characters. Nobody demanded this transformation that occurred in the Disney world. The original dwarfs from Snow White did not function as offensive caricatures because they brought heart to the story with their unique character personalities. Disney eliminated the endearing charm by introducing a mismatched group of CGI forest companions that lacked a connection to the original dwarfs. The modification of Snow White was necessary because viewers wanted a different version that included less recognizable elements and more perplexing production choices. But back to Rachel. The press tour for Rachel reached an even worse point than anyone could imagine. She chose to persist with her arrogant statement that she was above everything. She appeared in interviews where she boasted about how the studio had changed the story by reducing prince scenes and transforming Snow White into an independent female leader. Fairy tale revisions should only be handled by critics who express their disdain for traditional fairy tales. The final and most annoying part of her behavior was her contemptuous treatment of critics. She chose to mock her critics instead of listening by mocking the audience with eye rolls and statements that criticize fearful people who didn't support strong female characters. A business move that fails to impress customers occurs when businesses tell their clients they are the root of the dissatisfaction. The situation transformed into a complete personality crisis, which made fans question why she had accepted Snow White's role in the first place. The internet followed its standard practice of delivering harsh criticism to her. The trending hashtag #NotMySnowWhite, caused Disney executives to doubt their complete operational strategy. The audience reacted outrageously and critics remained puzzled while Rachel deepened her problematic situation. Despite Disney's financial downturn, she continued to deepen the problem with her alterations to Snow White.
She deserves to be in a padded cell. I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
Enter Candace Owens. She excels at exposing woke nonsense and executed a remarkable strike against Rachel in her recent video. She criticized Rachel for her obnoxious behavior while exposing the destructive tendencies of Hollywood elites. She emphasized how the general public never wanted this movie to exist. Who would ever waste time at home thinking about needing this particular thing? A feminist version of Snow White that lacks dwarfs should be avoided. No one, not a soul. Disney went ahead with the project against public demand, yet they were surprised when audiences didn't show interest in watching it.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. When I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. And I'm there 24/7, I can't get out of it.
Rachel forced an apology after realizing the criticism wouldn't disappear. "I got emotional," she said. "Oh, honey, no, you got exposed." People will never forget Rachel's extent of entitlement. Even a Disney magic wand can't undo it. Disney faces complete chaos as a result of the situation. Well, absolute shambles. The company faces imminent layoffs while its merchandise stagnates, and sources indicate they might reconsider their current woke remake strategy. The number of times Disney can update classic stories until viewers abandon their productions remains a question. And Rachel? She likely spends her time rehearsing for her next part in Karen the musical. After this, Hollywood is reluctant to give her another blockbuster contract. Candace Owens delivered a truthful assessment that exposed the reality that many people already acknowledged. With a single bit of criticism, this bratty actress destroyed an entire Disney movie before its premiere date. Was this disaster unavoidable? Or did Disney and Rachel Zegler cause it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates. See you next time.